So I got an absolutely sick deal on this motorcycle. I paid what, $9,000 out the door for a 2020 Yamaha MT-09. That's absolutely awesome. Once you put on the Akrapovic exhaust and flash the ECU, this bike is a proper bike. Oh, oh my goodness. But you know what, guys? I see a lot of you motorcycle buyers out there make a big mistake. I've bought and sold many motorcycles over the years, and I'm going to tell you some mistakes that I see a lot of motorcycle buyers make. Even me, I made a mistake back in the day, and I learned the hard way, but I share my experience with you guys so you learn and you don't follow my mistake that I made and other buyers' mistakes that I'm going to tell you about in this video.
Let's go for a ride. Watching CycleCruza's all-in-one motorcycle channel. Subscribe today. Make sure to visit CycleCruza.com and click on the menu tab My Videos, and those are a bunch of playlists with all my videos categorized in them to make it easier for you to navigate through.
First thing you need to do though is before you buy a motorcycle, get the gear first. And if you want to get the best gear, guys, check out my gear. If you want to get my airbag vest to help keep you safe, I never leave home without it. It protects your spine, your vital organs. I have a link to this in the description and comment section of this video, along with my other gear, including this ultra lightweight helmet with auto tint shield, my motovlog camera, shorty gloves. Yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Turn this traction control off, put it in mode A. Oh my goodness, this thing is a monster. It's a monster. A monster. A big mistake that I see bikers make is, oh, this thing has got so much torque, is they go to the dealership when they go to buy a motorcycle, and then they go to Haggle, like the old way of doing things. That's what your grandparents did, man. You go kick the tires, and then you wheel a deal with them. Spend like 2 hours going back and forth, and then you leave, and then they call you, and you come back, and blah, blah, blah. And you still don't even get the best deal that you could have got. You know, get your deal done on the phone. On the phone, man. Don't go to the dealership, okay? Trust me, I get the best deals, guys. Don't go to the dealership. You go to CycleTrader.com, you look for the bike you want, then you do nationwide search, and then you sort it from lowest price to highest price. Look at the lowest price, and then if it's not in your area or not close to your area, call your local dealerships and see if they'll match it. And if it's not too far, have it shipped to you. You know, you can have stuff shipped cheap these days, man. Just for like $200, $300, $400, and sometimes it's worth it. I had my Aprilia shipped to me. I had my Ducati XD Avail shipped to me, and I think I paid like $400, and got a sick deal, man. But don't go and haggle at the dealership. That's all wrong. And another thing I see a lot of riders make, buyers make, should I say, is they will get a motorcycle that has aftermarket fairings on it. I mean, they'll go to the dealership, and I made this mistake, guys. I made this mistake. Is I bought my CBR 600RR, and it had aftermarket Chinese fairings on it, Red Bull fairings on it. I didn't realize back then that, I mean, if you get a bike that has aftermarket fairings on it, there's a possible chance that that bike had been crashed. And also, you should get that bike a lot cheaper than you would if it had OEM fairings on it. So that's something to keep in mind. So don't make the mistake I made. There's nothing wrong. You know, Chinese fairings, I actually recommend them. Because when you get a brand new bike, you can get a custom set of fairings for like, I don't know, like $400 or $500, and you got your bike is custom. And if you drop the bike, so what? They're Chinese fairings. You can replace them really cheap, like a side fairing. You call the place on eBay or whoever you get your Chinese fairings from, and it'll cost you probably like $50 to replace one side fairing, as opposed to an OEM fairing that costs like, I don't know, anywhere from like $200 to $500. And then when you go to sell your bike, you slap your OEM fairings, which are brand new because you bought the bike brand new, and then you get top dollar for your bike, and then you could sell your Chinese fairings on eBay for, I don't know, maybe $100, $200. So that's my tip that I've always recommended over the years. I've had loads of Chinese fairings over the years, and some are better than others, but for the most part, they're fine. They're usually just knockoffs, man. They just make a mold of the OEM fairings, and usually they're pretty decent. Especially nowadays. Maybe way back in the day they made shoddy fairings, but I'll tell you another mistake that I see riders make, and this is for me selling motorcycles, is I'll have a buyer show up with no straps, no motorcycle straps. I'm like, dude, you expect me to give my motorcycle straps to you? When you go buy a motorcycle, make sure you bring motorcycle straps with you. You know what I'm saying? And I had other buyers that show up with crappy straps. I mean, these old cheap, probably to hold no more than 50 pounds. I like these really cheap, like, luggage straps. I mean, this one guy that bought my Ducati XCVL, he showed up with some of these cheap luggage straps, and I'm like, dude, I can't have you leaving like that with this awesome XCVL with some old cheap straps. The bike's probably gonna fall, and you're gonna destroy your bike, man. So I ended up having to give him my straps. I've given away like 4 sets of straps over the years selling bikes. I'm not doing it no more, man. I'll tell you that. If you buy a bike from me, you better come prepared with some straps, or otherwise, I don't care. I'm gonna let you leave with your old crappy straps and let your bike get jacked up, man. You know, another mistake that I see buyers make is that they will buy a motorcycle off of Craigslist. I'll tell you, there's a lot of sellers out there that are, you know, legitimately selling motorcycles off of Craigslist. But if you live in areas where bikes are highly stolen, like in Florida and California, maybe Texas or something, I highly recommend that you not buy a motorcycle off of Craigslist in these states where bikes are stolen heavily, because I'll tell you, they are running scams on there. I don't know about now, but I had my sister's boyfriend, he bought a bike off of Craigslist, a Gixxer, $5,000. I think it was a Gixxer 750, and they had a GPS tracker on it, and they were following him and waiting for him to leave his bike out, and then they stole it, put it in the back of a pickup truck, and took off. And then they'll probably set the bike up for another fool again. They'll just keep doing that, and then they'll eventually probably part the bike out or ship it overseas. So they're running these scams. You really got to be careful of buying a motorcycle off of Craigslist, man. Seriously. Personally, I buy my motorcycles leftover new, because you get a sick deal. Oftentimes, you can get a sicker deal buying a leftover new bike than you can buying a used bike off of Craigslist. You know, because a lot of these guys, they put all these mods on their bike and they want top dollar for them. As where if you buy a leftover new bike, you can save thousands of dollars. You know, I bought my 2012 Honda CBR 1000 II. I bought that for $8,999, and I had, I think, paid $300 for a setup fee or something like that. That was an absolutely sick price, man. Even back then, it was a sick price. I bought it in 2014, I think, or 14. I think when I bought that bike, it was 2 years leftover new. Absolutely awesome bike, like $9,300, man. You couldn't beat that with a stick. And then I ended up selling it for $8,000, like what, 4 or 5 years later. So You can get some really sick deals, but if you follow my how to buy a motorcycle technique, which I did a video on that, I'll include that video link in the description and comment section of this video, which will almost guarantee that you will get the sickest deal out there. Because you know, CycleCruza is all about helping his fellow motorcycle riders get the best deal, stay safe out here on the streets, get the best gear, because you know I'm rocking the best gear out here on the streets, especially this ultra lightweight carbon fiber helmet, super lightweight, comfortable with the auto tint shield. I love it. Link in the description and comment section of this video. And of course my t-shirts, no effed up days. Yeah buddy, I don't want any of you motorcycle riders that have effed up day. Leave a comment below, maybe of some other tips, mistakes that you see motorcycle buyers make. Leave a comment, let's talk about it. That's why I do these videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my all-in-one motorcycle channel, and make sure to check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto. Deuces.
Thumbs up, check out my playlist for new riders and popular videos. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto, where I customize a van for my motorcycle so I can live in my van with my motorcycle and travel across the country anywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bug Out Moto.